have you discovered or opened up your access to any, superhuman abilities from your practice?
It's a great question. I think I would say I haven't had much opportunity to know if they're more active because I'm so isolated where I live right now and with COVID and stuff. But my dream is to open a spiritual center. I hope to do that in the next few years. We're going to be moving down to Austin actually in a couple of months. And I have a ton of friends down there with a huge thriving community that I'm really excited to plug into, because I think you kind of need to be in community with others to activate those giftings more. But one that particularly has always been a passion of mine is healing, because I grew up in my church, which we did just enormous amounts of physical healing. We have these miracle services. We call them revivals back in the day, where we would get into these worship services where we would we would whip up so much energy in that room, just seeking the divine with one mind, one intention together. And Kundalini activations would manifest. I was talking to my dad about this a couple nights ago. I was like, Dad, remember how people would just flop on the floor all the time and be writhing like this? He's like, yeah, it would happen all the time. And I was like, that was a Kundalini activation. We just didn't know what to call it. We just called it falling under the power, is what we would say. So we would have Kundalini activations and we would have these incredible miracles, people with cancer, deafness, blindness, legs or limbs shorter than one another, just being healed all the time. It was like normal in my life growing up to see physical healing. And as a kid, I would pray for people all the time and heal blindness, eyesight issues, deafness, heart disease. And I was just like a little kid who, children tend to have the best ability to heal. And people would just come up and ask me to pray for them. So that was, one of my first memories from 5 years on, praying for healing. And that was normal to me at that age. And then that kind of fell away as I grew older, and especially once I left Christianity. But it was always the one thing, even when I went through my sort of closet atheist phase where I was like, I don't know if there's a God or not. But what I can't deny are the crazy miracles I saw in my church growing up. That definitely wasn't fake, but I need an explanation for what it was, because I know now that what it wasn't was, please God, please do a nice thing and heal this person. And God's in a good mood and decides to do it. That doesn't make sense. So understanding the Kundalini energy and how it activates psychic abilities has made sense of all of that now. And so I've been working on practicing healing, like on my fiance, sometimes on my parents or my sister. And there's been really great success, even recently in doing that. But the hallmark is that when you pull energy through breath work and like Kriya or Kundalini yoga, you start to activate that energy and can feel it physically in your body, traveling up the spine, up the back of the neck, up to the crown, third eye. And it's just like buzzing inside of you. And in my meditation, I noticed it would come out in my hands. It'd be really strong in my hands. And I thought, that must be where the energy wants to be released from. And as Ra teaches in the Law of One, healing is really when you are offering someone else an opportunity for a reconfiguration of energy. And so of their free will, they have to accept it, which is why some people would get healed and some wouldn't, because there might be blockages in their chakras. There might be unbelief where they don't feel like physical healing is true, or there might be unworthiness, right? Where they have a lot of sins they feel guilty for, and God's not going to heal me because I'm a bad, bad boy. So when you get all that bullshit out of the way, you can just know, hey, energy is offering you a reconfiguration. Do you accept? And if in their heart they say yes to it from a place of love, it's called green ray energy. The heart chakra is the color green. You send green ray energy into their body and it goes to the area of sickness or illness and it reconfigurates the energy there. And we call that healing. So it's actually a very scientific thing that's happening. We just haven't really learned how to, on a global scale at least, haven't learned how to access that ability yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of approaching these things personally from like, let's just see what I can already do without any like training, or with like very minimal training, like watch one YouTube video about telekinesis and then go try it, or have someone teach me telepathy and then and it's quite astounding. Telepathy got it the first time. Telekinesis got it the first time. It's harder to be consistent with it,
Right.
but it's so cool. You know, I just we went through the Reiki process of getting attuned to Reiki, and we're Reiki masters, my wife and I now. And like, I
Oh,
know
so
what you're
cool.
saying. You feel the buzzing in your hands, and you're like, I gotta put this somewhere.
That's how you know it's time to heal. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so wild that you know, anybody that hasn't experienced it, would be just like, you can't know it until you experience it, really. I don't think.
Absolutely.